Hello guys! Today is the day. I'm finally doing it. I'm starting a series on my TikTok page that is completely dedicated to beginners who want to learn how to crochet, or maybe you started and you're struggling. I'm gonna go over pretty much everything that I know, and hopefully by the end of this we will be getting you to a place where you can make blankets, plushies, whatever you want. So if this is something you're interested in, y'all stay tuned. I'm not exactly sure when I will be posting like all the subsequent videos. I don't quite have a schedule for that yet, but we will figure it out. We will learn as we go. So y'all stay tuned. Today we are going to be talking about different types of yarns, different hooks, how to figure out which hook to use with your yarn, chaining, slip stitch, and single crochet. So let's start with reading labels. So this is a size 5. You'll see the sizing right here. Hobby Lobby yarn, theirs is really small. Right here. It took me a second. So this is a size 4. This is acrylic yarn, really commonly used for wearables and blankets. I love making blankets out of this yarn. This is my favorite. This, I don't know if they still sell this at Michael's, but this is just like a kind of a blanket yarn. So this is going to be where you find your hook size. Knitting, crochet, 6 millimeters. And then with this one, we are looking for right here, 5.5. But this is also going to depend on your tension. If you are tightly crocheting and you're like, you know, you're going to want to go up a hook size. So that way it helps create a little bit more of a looser project. If you crochet really loose, then you're going to want to size down your hook. But this is definitely a good determination of what hook you should use. Personally, I think a 6 works well with this. I just did a size 7 hook, I believe, for the frosting of this cupcake, and it turned out really good. I would try making like a little swatch with a smaller hook size and then maybe size up a hook size. It really just depends on you, but the general range for your hook is going to be on the label. Let's start with the acrylic yarn. I need to grab a 5.5. I like to do a center pull. When I first started crocheting, I would use this outside one, and it would just constantly like flip and flip and flip. I pull from the center, so it's gonna be on this side. Also, I'm sorry if you hear my toddler in the background. He is hanging out with his dad out there. The center pull will come out looking like this. Just want to find the very end of it. Here, we're gonna make a slip stitch. You're gonna leave a little bit of a tail. We're gonna wrap it around our fingers. Y'all don't look at my nails either, okay? You're gonna pinch it between your finger and your 2 fingers and your thumb. Bring it around. And you're gonna make an X right at the front. We're gonna take our hook sideways, under, and we're gonna I'll turn my hand so you can see. Your hook is going to be facing down. You're gonna grab this yarn right here, pull it through, all the way through, and you will have a little knot. I'm gonna do that one more time. So we're gonna take our yarn, start in the back, work it down, up. In the back it's going to be parallel, but in the front it's going to be crossed, just like that. And I hold it just like this. Take our hook sideways, go under this first bottom one, top right, turn it so the hook is facing down. We're going to grab this yarn and pull it. That's all you're doing. Now you can take your fingers out of the knot, holding the bottom of it. Just like that. You can do it. You can also just use your fingers. Leave the tail hanging. make a little loop, pull the tail, put it through the middle. Notice how I'm pinching the tail so it's not going anywhere. Just like that. Cute and gorgeous, okay? Now to tighten it, you're gonna grab your tail and you're just gonna pull it. And this is your working yarn. Okay, now where you're going to chain, you don't want this to be too tight. You wanna leave a little bit of space, okay? So I will hold the yarn, the working yarn, with my 3 fingers, and then wrap it up, just like this. You're gonna hold it however you feel comfortable, but you want to have good tension. So I recommend under the 3 fingers, over the pointer. Now in the beginning, you're gonna secure the tail so your work isn't moving around. Pinch, and we are going to chain. So while you're kind of pinching this, bring the hook towards you. Move the hook behind so it's completely wrapped around, and that's why you're holding this yarn so it doesn't move. Now that it's wrapped around, you're gonna gently just pull through that loop, and that is a chain. Now you're gonna hold this chain, take your hook, put it right in front. You're just moving it around the yarn, just like that. Very simple. Moving it around. And now it's going to be by the hook. Move it around. And we're going to gently move that yarn into the loop. And you want to make sure that you are grabbing the yarn. So kind of twist your hook. Just like that. And it's going to hold that yarn. And you're just going to pull it through the loop. One more time. Wrap it around. Turn your hook down. And see how it's catching that yarn? You want to make sure your hook is facing down so it's able to catch that yarn and bring it through. You don't want to hold too tight to where it's like hard on your fingers. But you don't want it to be too loose to where you're like not even able to hold the yarn. Tension takes time, so don't be upset like if you don't get it like within your first try or two. It's all about practice. Wrap it around, turn your hook, and pull it through, just like that. Now if this video seems very slow or very repetitive, I'm making these videos for people who were like me. Like when I first started crocheting, I could not figure out how to chain. Like it was so confusing for me. So these videos, they're kind of for my new beginner stage. So if you guys get it, you can always skip forward too. So we're gonna chain, pulling it through and pulling it through. You guys are doing great, okay? You're doing great. This is the back. Do you see these bumps in the middle right here? This is the back of your work. You want to turn your work and it looks like a braid. This is going to be the front and what you're going to work with. We are going to learn how to do a single crochet. Now, we're going to hold our yarn and twist up, and we are going to pinch this work. Now we are not going to go into this first chain right here. We're going to go into the second one right here. We're going to leave a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room. You don't want it to be too much and you don't want it to be too tight, just enough. Okay, we're going to turn our hook and put it right into that chain. You have 2 loops. Okay, 1 and 2. We're going to yarn over, just like how we did when we were making our chains. We're going to yarn over, bring our yarn over the front, turn our hook so it will grab the yarn, and we're going to pull it through that first loop and pull up. Now you have 2 loops on your hook again. You're going to yarn over, turn your hook so it grabs the yarn, and pull it through both loops, just like so. And you did a single crochet. Now let's try it again. Go into the next stitch, two loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, take our hook, we're going to turn it down so it grabs the yarn, and you're just going to pull it right through that first loop. And now you have 2 loops. Now you're going to yarn over again, turn your hook so it grabs it, and pull through both of those loops. Now let's do it again. Insert into the next chain. We're going to yarn over. So we're going to bring the yarn around the front, turn our hook so it grabs the yarn, and we're going to pull that yarn. And now we have 2 loops on our hook. Now you're going to yarn over again, turn it down, and we're going to pull that working yarn through both of those loops. And we have some single crochets. Next one, right in there, 2 loops, yarn over, pull that working yarn right through that first one. Now you have 2 loops, yarn over, turn it down, pull that working yarn right through both loops. And then I'll show you what you can do when you get to the very end. Okay, so I went all the way to the very last chain. We are going to chain 1. So you're going to hold your work, bring the yarn over, turn the hook, and you chain 1. Now we're going to turn our work. And everything that you just did, you're going to do it all over again. This is just going to be your practice swatch. We're going to do one more round of single crochets, and then we're going to get into half double crochets. This time it's going to be a little bit different because we are going to be working into the single crochets instead of the chains. You're going to look right here in that first spot. You can see the V, the 2 loops. Put your hook right into that first little spot. And again, you have this one and this one. Same thing, yarn over, pull it through here. You're going to have 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the 2 loops, go into the next space right here. You're going to yarn over, pull up your loops, yarn over. You're doing the same exact thing. The only difference is you're going through the single crochets. So now we have 2 rows of single crochet. If you would like to continue to half double crochet, continue watching. If you want to keep working on your single crochets, you can pause it and come back. Whatever you want to do, completely up to you. We are going to chain 2. Turn our work. Now, we are going to yarn over, insert our hook in this first space. Now we are going to have 1, 2, and 3. We're going to yarn over. We're going to pull through that very first one, and we will have 3 loops on our hook. Now you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 of those loops. And that right there, my friends, is a half double crochet. Yarn over, go into this next space right here, insert your hook. Make sure you're going through the first and the second loop. Yarn over and pull through that very first loop. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over again. Pull through all 3. Good job. Let's do it again. Yarn over. Insert into the stitch. Yarn over. Now with the 3 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over again and pull 3 all the way through. And that is how you do a half double crochet. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops, 1, 2, 3. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, now that we have made it to the very last stitch, yarn over, pull through all the loops. Now you're going to chain 2 and work half double crochets all the way to the very end. This is not an exact project. We're not really making anything. This is just your practice swatch. We're just getting comfortable with working single, half, and double crochet. So don't worry if it's looking a little wonky, if it looks crazy, that's okay. This is just going to be your practice swatch. You're getting used to tension, you're getting used to learning the different stitches. You can always just keep either chaining 1, chaining 2, or chaining 3, depending on the stitch, and just keep working your rows until you're comfortable with completing the stitch. So for double crochets, we are going to chain 3 because each of these stitches are getting taller. They're a little bit bigger. So, and that's just going to give you the height to continue to make an even height all the way down. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn our work. Now we're going to yarn over, insert into that first space. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to have 3 loops. Now, after completing that little first step, we're going to yarn over again. And instead of pulling through all these loops right here, we're just going to pull through the first 2. 1 and 2. So 1 and 2. You're going to have 2 loops remaining. You're going to yarn over and pull through both of those loops. That is a double crochet. Now let's do another one together. You're going to yarn over, insert into the next space. Make sure you're going through both of those loops. See these 2 loops, the front loop and the back loop. You're going to make sure you're putting your hook through both of them. You're going to yarn over again, grab your working yarn, pull it through that stitch, pull it up, make sure your loops are even, and not too tight, not too loose. Now that you have 3 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the left and the middle. 1 and 2. You're going to have 2 loops remaining on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through both loops. Y'all are doing great. Let's keep going. Yarn over, both loops, front and back, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and you're going to have 3 loops. You're going to yarn over through the first 2. You're going to yarn over again and pull through 2. Perfect. Okay, let's do it all the way down, and I'll meet you at the very end. Yarn over into that stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. All right, and once we are done with this end, if you want to continue to do double crochets, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and work all the way back down. I'm going to close out this video. In the meantime, I want to see y'all working on your singles, halves, and doubles, okay? Also chaining, and work on your tension, okay? I believe in you guys. I know you can do it. You guys are going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any feedback, make sure to leave it in the comments. Bye!